Here's the hard truth. 99% of cane fighting techniques you see on YouTube videos from so-called instructors, even published books, are useless trash. It's fantasy-based garbage and choreographed nonsense that'll get you killed in a real self-defense situation. In this video, I'm going to show you why it's delusional garbage. Let's check it out. The problem with almost every cane fighting technique out there is simple. They were invented by people who've never faced real-world violence. Because if they had, they never teach this nonsense with a straight face. You've got guys out there spinning canes like a parade baton, doing figure eights in the air and pretending that they're going to stop a knife-wielding psychopath who's trying to butcher them. Now I know this video is going to piss some people off, especially the die-hard cane fighting faithful, or what I call the Cane-Fu Brotherhood. And honestly, I couldn't care less. If you haven't figured it out by now, this channel isn't a group therapy session for martial arts hobbyists or fantasy role players. It's not here to make you feel good. It's here to tell you the truth, raw, unfiltered, battle-tested. And if that truth makes you unsubscribe, good riddance. Go spin your parade baton somewhere else. The algorithm is not going to flinch. This channel keeps growing because people are done with fantasy-based self-defense. They're sick and tired of drills, dances, and delusions. They come here specifically for reality, and reality doesn't care about your feelings. It only cares about survival. Now, before we even get into some of these moronic techniques, let's address the elephant in the room. Almost everybody is using a wooden cane for self-defense, and that includes these so-called cane experts and instructors out there. Newsflash, if your tactical cane is made of wood, regardless of its brand name, it doesn't matter how many techniques you've mastered. It's going to get you killed against a vicious street attacker, period. I don't condone wooden canes in my CFA system. I don't care if it's oak, hickory, mahogany, or blessed by the Pope himself. It's still too thin, too light, there's no crushing geometry, no mass where it matters, and if there's no weight at the end, there's no force. End of story. Now, this is a completely different beast. This is the Dragon Cane by Cold Steel. This is what we use in contemporary fighting arts. Not because it looks cool, but because it works. It's weighted, reinforced, and built to end violence, not decorate your living room. No hooks for traps, no stupid twirls, just 100% blunt force trauma. It hits like a warhammer, not like a collie stick or a fencing foil. And no, this isn't a paid endorsement. I'm not getting a dime to say this. I endorse it because it works. But I'm not going to teach you how to use it in this video because that's not what this video is about. This video is about one thing, showing you what's going to get you killed if you listen to these idiots out there. As I explain in my book, Cane Fighting, the authoritative guide for using the cane or walking stick for self-defense, it's not just about picking the right tactical cane. It's about knowing exactly how to use it under real-world chaos. A real combat cane has to meet very specific, non-negotiable criteria: sufficient weight, structural integrity, real impact points, and most importantly, it must not have a hook. I repeat, no hook. If your so-called tactical canes have one, it's not a weapon, it's a joke. And that's exactly why I wrote this book, to cut through the nonsense and teach you what actually works when your life is on the line. It's available on Amazon, and I'll drop a link down below if you want to check it out. Here is the ever so popular Groin Attack. Back up a little bit, Tommy. We're in kicking range, hands up, canes down. They go down the shaft, bring it up. That is a typical groin attack using the cane. Now, if you think striking the groin is going to stop An enraged attacker, you're out of your freaking mind. The groin is the most overrated target in martial arts and self-defense. Many times when someone is enraged or has adrenaline running through them, they're not going to feel that groin shot. They're going to crash through the line, tackle you, get you to the ground, and pummel you to death. Many cane experts also say that you can use the cane as a power amplifier. What they do, they get into their stance, they come up high on the shaft. From their stance, they drive it into the torso or into the face. Never gonna work. It's a completely flawed technique. If you don't believe me, let Tommy try it. He's never used the cane before, and let's see what he thinks about it. Go ahead, Tommy. Good stance. Okay. And try it a couple times. Again. Okay, now put your thumb behind it because some experts say that's the way to control it. Go ahead, Tommy. Try it to the face. One more time. Now I want you to tell me, what do you think of that technique?
I think this cane has no structural integrity to punch. And to be quite honest, if you hit a guy like that who's a real savage, he's just going to destroy you. He's going to break the cane over your head.
Are you now ready for Stupidity 101? Defending against a knife-wielding assailant using your little cane. Here is one example of a defensive technique. The adversary is facing me, I have the cane in my hand, I switch it to this particular quarterstaff grip, and I start doing this bullshit nonsense. Let me tell you something. If you I'm sorry, this is comical. If you think for 1 second that that technique is gonna stop a knife attacking maniac, you are living in a different planet, because I'm telling you right now, you are going to die. And now it's time for the devastating figure 8 technique that is going to vanquish my knife-wielding attacker. Are you ready for some comedy? Because I'm going to show it to you now. There's my threatening assailant. I take my cane and I start using my figure 8 because, of course, this is going to keep him back. There's no way he is going to crash through the line and stick that in my face. Tommy, you've been in law enforcement for over 28 years. What is your assessment of that technique based on what you've experienced in the real world?
Somebody who wants to hurt you is going to laugh at that cane, and they're going to crash that line, and they're going to stick that knife up under your rib cage. You're dead, period.
So what you're saying is this is not realistic?
Completely unrealistic. You're giving false hope to somebody who has a cane. You've just gotten them killed.
We can even forget about dealing with a knife attack using the figure 8 technique. Let's just say it's unarmed combat and you have an adversary who's coming at you. Imagine this scenario. He's coming at you full force like a freight train. Do you think you're gonna stop this guy with this stick? There is no way in hell you're gonna stop him. You're gonna end up dead. One of the most important liability concerns with using a cane against a knife, besides him crashing through the line and carving you to pieces, is that the only way for you to stop a knife attack is to control the weapon limb. Remember, you're holding on to this cane. You are not going to be able to control that weapon limb with 2 hands. This is staple survival techniques using 2 hands to control the weapon limb. If you're holding this, you're not controlling it, and you're going to die. One of the most important insights you need to extract from this video is that the reason why you see a lot of these cane fighting techniques all over the internet and on YouTube, and they look effective, is because they have compliant students. The students are told to behave a particular way. But in a reality-based street fighting situation, there's no compliance. There is no programming structure. There's no pattern. It's chaos, pure and utter chaos. And if you think that a cane is going to stop someone with a knife, or even an unarmed attacker who's really determined to really cause harm, you're living a pipe dream. It's never going to work. Are you ready for some more nonsense? Let's try and show you what they're teaching in terms of a compound attack using the cane. Tommy's going to replicate the groin target and then the head target. See, Tommy's make sure we're in... Yeah, we're right there. So they a little bit lower, Tommy, for the groin. So they strike the groin here, they bring it in, and they strike on top. That's their compound attack. Again, this will never work. It will never stop a really formidable adversary in a street combat situation. Let's also address people who teach using the hook or the horn of the cane for self-defense, okay? The basic concept is this. You're faced with an adversary, you strike a primary target, and then you basically hook the back of the neck, pull him down to the ground, or pull him into a strike. Or, Tommy, back up a little bit, you strike the leg, you hook the knee, and you pull him off balance and either run away or follow up with another strike. And you can also apply it to the elbow or even the wrist. Let me tell you something. This reminds me of some cheap Charlie Chaplin movie or a carnival barker swinging his cane trying to get people to come into the tent and watch different types of performances. Guys, this is not the real world. These techniques that these masters teach are pure, utter garbage. It is not real world. You're never going to survive a real encounter. Never perform these techniques ever. Hey, we're about to get back into the video, but let me ask you something. Do you want to legitimately accelerate your self-defense skills? And are you sick of clickbait videos teaching absolute garbage? Or tired of being misled by unqualified wannabe experts who have zero credibility or experience? If the answer is yes, now is the time to join my War Machine memberships. As a member, you're going to get exclusive access to in-depth training videos, exclusive full-feature video content, downloadable training PDFs, and direct insights you're not going to find anywhere else. Plus, you're going to have direct access to me in the comments section of all my videos. So if you have questions, you're going to get real, detailed answers from me and not some random keyboard warrior. So if you're serious about mastering real-world combat skills, hit the join button below and start training like a true war machine. Now, let's get back to the lesson. One of the biggest claims and myths that people preach about the cane is that it's the ultimate self-defense weapon. Well, if you're going to make that claim, therefore you have to cover the entire spectrum of self-defense scenarios. Armed and unarmed combat. How about this scenario? Tommy comes out, I'm being held up at gunpoint, and you have your cane. If you think for 1 second that you're going to be able to disarm a gunman with a cane, you're out of your mind. Now, I know some of you people are saying, well, I'm a senior citizen and I can't disarm a gun with my hands, and my hands were empty. Well, this applies to people who are not senior citizens. This applies to anybody, young or old, who is holding a cane. There is no way you're going to be able to disarm that weapon or even control that weapon if he's holding you at gunpoint and he's determined to blow your brains out. The only way to stop a gunman is to use both hands. And I have a lot of videos on this channel that teaches you how to do this. So people who claim that this cane solves all your self-defense problems, they're lying to you. Look, you can keep chasing fantasy, hooking limbs, doing figure eights, and pretending that a cane will stop a vicious attacker. I've spent 35 years separating what works from what gets you killed, and I put that truth in my book, Cane Fighting, the authoritative guide to using the cane or walking stick for self-defense. You want to survive? Start there. The link is down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next video.